it's a new day, but I'm wearing a different shirt. Same style as yesterday. I have two of these shirts actually. And yeah, I don't know, I love this shirt, you know, it's so comfortable and it's nice and light and everything. But it's funny because before I went live, I was like, let me put some music on. I usually put like handpan music on, or like a meditation playlist, or sometimes Tibetan bell music or Tibetan bowl music. But I was like, let me do a shuffle. Let me see what song pops up, right? The song Pictures by System of a Down. And I'm like, okay, that's a little too aggressive. I don't think that's the type of music I want to be having on like in the background while I'm doing a reading, you know? If anybody has ever listened to System of a Down, hey FinTube. I don't know if anybody has ever listened. I hope you're having a good day too. I don't know if anybody has ever listened to System of a Down. That's not like chill, like let's do a tarot reading type of music. It's heavy metal. And then I'm like, okay, let me see what comes next. So I go to the next song, The Ghost of You by My Chemical Romance. Clearly, I like rock music. I like metal. I like System of a Down, My Chemical Romance, Evanescence, Stained, Disturbed, Nothing More. That's my kind of music. I'm Latina. Apparently, I'm supposed to listen to bachata, merengue, salsa, you know, all that stuff. I mean, when I go out, I do listen to that music, right? But like personally, this is like a joke in my channel. I'm a Scorpio, and that music aligns with me, you know, because to me that music is more deep and more like emo, like I am sometimes, right? But I was like, okay, The Ghost of You, Pictures, music. I channel through music. Earlier, I was listening to the song My Love, which is a song that I channeled last night, when I was doing the first live stream I did last night around 9 p.m. Eastern time, 2 to 2 as I'm saying that. That song My Love. I was listening to it today. I was like, okay, I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grass, laying side by side. You could be my lady. If I make you my baby, girl, you amaze me. Ain't gotta do anything, nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be in my love. So like, don't give away my love. Listening to that, right? Then photos, pictures. I got pictures on my brain. I got pictures in my mind. That's the System of a Down song. Somebody's remembering you. They're thinking about you. They're reminiscing about you. There's nostalgia there. The Ghost of You. Some of you may not be in contact with someone. There could be a sudden shift in the way your relationship is with somebody. Like you're no longer the person that they remember. You've changed somehow with the Ghost of You. It's implying like, though you're here, who you were no longer exists. That's the Ghost of You. It's like saying that part of you has passed away. It's no longer here because there's a new version, a new version, the healed version, a different version of yourself right now. So just talking about this is helping me get the message out to you. So obviously we got somebody who's thinking about you, reminiscing, thinking about how things used to be, thinking about how you used to be. And there could be somebody that has this fear of being replaced, of you, if you were someone who was very loving and giving, you giving your love away to someone else. So that's somebody's message. Somebody needed to hear that. Okay, because yesterday I did 2 live streams. One of them was like a regular live stream, like whatever comes out. I took out 6, well, I didn't take out. Some cards came out, 6 Oracle cards, I clarified them. But the last card, My Boo, or New Boo, I think it was My Boo. That's where I channeled that song specifically. So that ultimately inspired me to do a separate live stream, just a future love reading. We got some characteristics and traits. I read the card for what it is, but also intuitively, like I think about, okay, like if this was a person, you know, how would they be? What would their energy be? What would they embody? Well, maybe even physical features too, right? So if you're interested in seeing that, it's on the live tab of my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tan. Artemis Oracle is my channel. I'm an Oracle and Tarot card reader. So I have the love situation deck here, since I brought up the love thing. But let's see if we could step out of that energy, like the love energy, someone missing you, reminiscing about you. Let's see what messages you need to know at this time. I'm using the Life Happens deck. This deck is very simple, very straight to the point. So let's see what messages you need to know at this time. Okay, for the collective, who may be currently watching and who will watch the replay. What messages do they need to know at this time for the highest and greatest good? What messages do they need to know for the highest and greatest good? Got one card. I'm just gonna get the cards out first, and then I'll read from there, just to save time. I'm looking at the back of a card that came out in reverse, so I'm going to see what it is, and then I'll determine if it's supposed to be that way or not. I'm going to go through one more time, and if nothing comes out, we'll stop there. Okay, I want to look at the bottom. Humility. Being humbled. Okay, we have 7 cards here. The first card we got is defense mechanism. 7 of Wands energy. Someone may feel like they need to protect themselves, guard themselves. Oh, okay. With the feminine energy in reverse, someone may be embodying a masculine energy, and they're doing this as a defense mechanism. Drama queen energy, someone who may be wanting a lot of attention, admirers, maybe starting trouble. We got crisis card coming out. It could be somebody who may be a drama queen, maybe in a negative sense. This could be an Empress in reverse, who may be acting out and being selfish in her shadow energy. Truth, it's about being honest, finding some sort of truth, clues, evidence, getting receipts, vacation, taking a break, needing to take a break. Masculine energy came out. That's so funny that I mentioned the feminine energy possibly being in her masculine as a defense mechanism, and then we have the masculine energy coming out. So that's kind of like confirming it too. But there could be a feminine energy and a masculine energy dealing with each other, but the feminine energy could be in her shadow and acting out. The Empress energy, if you really think about it, is someone who's loving, caring, giving, nurturing, abundant. A drama queen, like an Empress in reverse, is the opposite of that. She's selfish, she's greedy, she will operate off her shadow energy, possibly acting unhealthily or like toxically, if you want to use that word. Just maybe even someone who may not be very confident in themselves. And sometimes people, when they're not confident, they tend to overdo it. They tend to overcompensate. They may try to show up as something, but it's a ruse just to make it look like, yeah, I'm in this energy, but I'm not acting out in that energy. So it's like, I want to say it's like overacting, you know, like playing a part. If you think the drama queen is on stage, so someone may be presenting themselves a certain way, because their ego or their self-esteem may not be, they're not feeling really good about themselves, you know? Okay. You know, when I think about this, it's like the Empress energy is taking a vacation. Like she has checked out, and it's like this dark goddess energy that's is showing up, but not in a healthy way, because, you know, we can embody that dark energy, but in a way to empower us, to set boundaries, and to exert our strength, show our strength, display our strength. But I think in this case, I don't think it's that. I think it's more like somebody who is not. I mean, if this was in the upright and the drama queen came out, then I would think that too, depending on the cards, the way I'm reading it. But the way I'm reading it now, it's like, no, this is someone who is operating off shadow, but not in a healthy way. It's like the healthy version of themselves has taken a vacation, or it's like has checked out, essentially. But also the other thing too is someone, like I said, someone could be acting out, and they may be acting out aggressively. They could be in their masculine energy, you know, so they may be more aggressive, less loving and more combative. It could be that. But somebody could be experiencing some sort of crisis. It could be with financial, because I always look at this as like pennies from heaven. Oh my gosh, that came to my mind. Pennies from heaven. That came to my mind. Pennies from heaven. But you see, it seems maybe somebody's going through some sort of financial crisis and in need of some help. Somebody could be undergoing a crisis of not feeling worthy. You know, I like to go with, whenever like money or value comes out, like monetary, like with coins and stuff, I automatically want to go to like how someone values themselves. And I did mention earlier that someone may not be feeling good about themselves, but they may be acting like they're like putting up a front. You know, it could be either they're acting out in the masculine energy, they're exhibiting masculine traits, or they could just be in the shadow energy of the feminine, but in an unhealthy way. There could be a masculine energy that could be understanding this. There could be a masculine energy that may be taking a break from this feminine energy because she's going through some sort of personal crisis, you know, and maybe feeling like they need to protect themselves from her because they're seeing some sort of truth. Something's being revealed to them. And the vacate could be like taking a break, no communication, no contact, just maybe even, I don't think it's ghosting, but I feel like it's like taking a step back and also taking a breather, you know, especially if the drama queen has like just has this man wanting to throw a boulder at her, you know, hopefully not. And it's funny, yesterday I was talking to one of my friends and we were talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and I was telling them that I had a crush on Jotaro, and he was like, oh, the one that beats women. I'm like, what? He hits women? I didn't know that. Apparently I wasn't paying attention to the show, but apparently like he was like very like overly masculine, but not in a healthy way. But my friend explained to me, like, he wasn't like punching women out of nowhere. Like if they were in his way, like if he's fighting or whatever, I think that's what he was saying, that he would like hit a woman. Like, it's like, don't touch me. I'm angry and I want to fight. And if you come near me, I don't care who you are, because I'm like that raging bull type energy. You only see in red. You don't see women. You don't see men. You just see somebody coming at you, even if they're coming at you with trying to calm you down. It could be that type of energy. I'm like, but why Jotaro? I'm like, I had a crush on him, you know, because he seemed like very calm and stoic. Like he had a lot of self-control, and that he kicked ass, but he needed to kick ass. But I totally missed the mark that he was punching women. I had to talk to my son. I'm like, I need my son to confirm this with me, because, you know, apparently JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is the talk of the town. And I mean, it might be because a new episode released. And apparently they're going to be, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Talking about anime. But anyway, I feel like, let me go back to the reading. Humility, somebody's being humbled in some way. Maybe the masculine energy taking a step back. If there is two people involved in this situation, there could be a masculine energy that's taking a step back. And this is what's humbling the feminine energy. Maybe the feminine energy is also becoming aware, because it could be also, like I said, the feminine energy could be operating off her masculine. And then now she's becoming aware, like, wow, I took a step back from my feminine energy and I'm acting out in this way. And, you know, it's like, it could be that understanding, that clarity, like, oh shit, you know, like maybe I put myself in this energy because I feel like this is the way I have to be, because I don't feel like I'm valued when I'm in my feminine, and that I get more respect, I get more recognition, or I feel more powerful when I'm in my masculine energy, where I feel like no one can mess with me, nobody will fuck with me. You know, it could be a truth. You know, this could be somebody's reading, but I feel like there's like somebody's being humbled in some way with the humility card coming through. I think this is a realization for someone that they have to probably put down their defense. They had to put down their guard, put down this facade, you know, where they're like maybe overcompensating or maybe acting out of their own character. Sometimes it could be that. Especially the divine feminine, because when you think about the feminine energy, that's the Empress, that's the divine feminine. And if she's not in a really good place emotionally and mentally, that causes some sort of imbalance. And of course, obviously she's going to be on her shadow, or she may switch over to her masculine energy. So I feel like in some way there could be some sort of clarity, understanding within either the masculine energy understanding the feminine energy, because there has been a taking a step back, or the feminine energy understanding that about herself. So that's what I'm getting right now. But I want to see what this is regards to. Okay. Hi, Carolyn. How are you? Okay. Okay, we got the High Priestess. Okay, somebody is... I'll send my pennies from heaven. You know, sometimes we get valuable information from our higher selves, I can't talk. Our higher self. Or even... you know, this like maybe there's some sort of protection angel or something coming through. Like, but something, you know, look at the feathers. You see the High Priestess has wings. There's wings there. Maybe somebody is becoming enlightened, probably getting downloads and having an understanding that they need to ground themselves, center themselves in some way, reconnect to themselves. With the High Priestess coming out. The Hierophant. Wow, the High Priestess and the Hierophant, they're like consorts to each other, you know. Though the High Priestess, she's not traditional, you know, because if you think about religion and stuff, women aren't supposed to be in anything to do with religion, you know. So this is why we have to be witches, you know, like we have to do things on our own. We have to do things in secret. But the Hierophant, he's more traditional. So maybe somebody is, and it's Taurus energy, and I mentioned grounding, and Taurus is one of the most grounded signs, honestly, out of all the signs. You know, they're a fixed sign, but no questions today. So the Hierophant, sorry. Let me see. So the Hierophant, he's more traditional. Maybe this High Priestess is understanding, learning things. Hi, Vixen. How are you? I assume you look well too. So there's this High Priestess. Maybe I did mention the masculine and the feminine energy. I saw the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, the Chariot. Wings, wings, wings. Got Major Arcana. You know, it's interesting because I talked about switching, like feminine to masculine, traditional to... Now I'm thinking traditional to non-traditional. It's important because now I'm thinking about the card from Moonology called Happy Friday Afternoon from New York. The Chariot, I feel like somebody's switching. That is important, you know, because sometimes if you try to be in this energy too much, it could be confusing. It could cause you some sort of anxiety, stress, because you're like trying to connect to a higher source. So sometimes that can be, sometimes it could, you know, when you try to be overly spiritual, you know, that could cause an imbalance, right? But when you have to be more traditional, this is where you restore balance. So it's reminding me of the Pisces card. I don't know if it's the new moon or the full moon in Pisces. It says balance, practicality, spirituality, and practicality, something like that. And this is what is coming to my mind. I'm gonna look it up actually, because I feel like that's what it is too. I mean, you could have faith, but then sometimes I'm gonna be honest with like our spiritual people, we could like be over spiritual. To the, you know, if you know what I mean, there's the people that like just overly like it's, but then sometimes when you're like constantly looking for a sign and confirmation and, you know, constantly doing that rather than trusting yourself, going within, because that may be what's necessary too, you know, going within, but, and grounding yourself in that way. But you're using traditional methods to ground oneself. But I want to look up that card from Moonology. It's balanced spirituality. I guess Moonology, ology, practice, spirituality. What is this? Oh, what the hell? Practice. I think I'm gonna put Pisces cards. Because I feel like this is really, somebody could have Pisces in the chart. And High Priestess, that's Pisces energy also. I will also say Cancer energy because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And we have the Cancer showing up with the Chariot. Hierophant is Taurus energy. So we got Venus, Neptune, and the moon coming through. So Neptune is it's a very like watery planet, right? It's where where imagination comes from. Hi Elber, how are you? Where our dreams. It's us, you know, how we connect to, it's where our spiritual gifts can come from, spiritual influence. But let me see, Moonology, Pisces cards, images. So Neptune, maybe, see, balance spirituality and practicality. And then the new moon in Pisces card is attuned to the divine and meditate and contemplate. So meditation is more like a spiritual practice and contemplation is more like a grounded practice, because meditating, it's more like you're trying to clear your mind, but then contemplating requires you to be in your mind. You need to be, contemplation requires thinking. Meditation is trying to clear your mind of thoughts. So this is about finding some sort of balance, you know. I'm sorry, I'm not doing any readings. Yeah, so attuned to the divine. When I read that, it could be having to attune to the divine feminine within yourself. You know, if there seems to be some sort of switching between masculine and feminine energy. And, you know, the fact that we have the Hierophant and the High Priestess coming out, that's the like I said, the consorts, the spiritual consorts, the feminine spiritualist and the masculine, the non-traditional and the traditional. This is about balance. The Chariot is a vehicle. It goes forward, it goes backwards, you know, so it's about like shifting and moving where you need to. If you think about a scale, you know, you have to find a balance, you know, sometimes you have to make certain adjustments. So there may be certain adjustments that you need to make. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day too. So I feel like this is what this is talking about. You know, sometimes you're going to have to take a break from the meditation, and then you have to become more practical. If you think about masculine energy, they tend to be more practical. I'm not saying women aren't practical. We are practical. But when we're talking about spirituality, women tend to be more inward. We receive. Masculines, they act. So there are going to be times where you need to act and when you need to step back, you know, and that could be where this is coming from. Yes, I've mentioned that plenty of times, V, in my live streams. I'm on top of that moon. I'm a moon lover. I know anybody who I talk to the moon about, including in the live streams, I mention it. I mentioned it yesterday, because yesterday and today, the moon, and actually tomorrow, the moon is in Scorpio, and it's about releasing, and you know, so this is the fact that we having this moon is saying a lot. And you know what's funny? Because I got my dark moon oracle deck. I bought this a few months ago, and I haven't had a chance to use it. And this is part of the Moonology. No, it's not part of Moonology, but it's by the creator of Moonology, you know, and I have all the other decks, but I have my moon deck here. And yeah, it's a very important moon in the sense that it's a second full moon within the month of May. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yes, balance. Remember I was talking about balance? And then look with this, balance, and then you got this yin yang balance, balancing the feminine and the masculine. I think the feminine is yin. I get them mixed up, but one is feminine and one's masculine. And this is one of the cards I say looks like me. When I'm darker and I have my hair long and curly. That's funny. Yeah, the lovers. When we see the typical lovers card, it shows a masculine and feminine energy. This is about somebody needing to understand how to balance between both energies, because in reality, we can't always be in our feminine. You know, sometimes we gotta be in this masculine energy, but that sometimes we could rely heavily on this when we feel like we have to guard ourselves. You know, when we have to protect ourselves. So someone may be feeling like they have to protect themselves. Like maybe someone's overly protective. That sounds like someone. If everybody could put the hand emoji in the chat. If you resonate with that message about being overprotective of yourself. I know I am. I know, and you know, I don't know how sensitive people are to the moon. I know I am, because the moon hits me like days before it becomes full. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me know where this moon is. I know I do keep track, but not always. It's when I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a certain way. Let me check where the moon is. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. You know, it's really good to look at where the moon phase is, to see where it is, what sign it's in, even the phase it's in, because the full moon is like something being revealed. When a moon is getting smaller, that's something that's basically being released. Because then with the new moon, which is when you don't see the moon, that's like a brand new beginning, a brand new start, a refresh, a restart. You know? So the signs affect us differently. You know, I'm a very water heavy, have a water heavy chart in tropical Western astrology. Have a lot of water placements. Okay. So what does the collective need to know? I feel like this has to do with balance. Balancing your... Oh my God. Look at this. I don't know if anybody saw the live stream when I was talking about these cards, but the 4 Cups came out. Sometimes you gotta know when you gotta put emotion in, and sometimes you gotta know when you gotta take emotion out. Masculine energy doesn't operate off emotions. Feminine energies do. So someone may be apathetic. That could be you. That could be whoever you're dealing with. This reading may not. This may be your story. This may be somebody else's story. Please take the message as it resonates. Hi, Jerry. How are you? So the 4 Cups is the energy of being emotionally detached. You know. Okay, because I always get them mixed up. Because I thought it was the opposite. Hi, Lions, Guy, Ventures. Hi, Urushi. How are you? Just so everybody knows, I'm not doing any readings. I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but I have to be transparent. You know, I hope everybody's doing well. If you're new, my name is Tan. Artemis Oracle is my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day if you're just passing by. And I hope you have a great weekend. So this is someone who is emotionally detached. You know, they're no longer satisfied, they're no longer pleased, and they're no longer interested. So I did say someone could be taking a break, and it could be somebody's like taking a break from their emotional energy. Someone's taking a vacation from their emotional energy, and it could be the feminine. This is probably a feminine. This is readings about a feminine. Okay, I want to know what the crisis is. I got a bunch of cards coming out. This one, 4 Pentacles. I was talking about value earlier, and then we got the 4 Pentacles with the crisis card. And we got 4-4 on the table. 44. I don't think 44 is a life path number. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at this. We got the Seven of Pentacles. This is a time of reassessment, evaluation, reflection. So, oh, the Empress card came out. I was talking about the Empress with the Divine Feminine, you know, in reverse. She came out, the Empress with the Three of Wands, thinking about the future, reflecting on the past. And because remember, Seven of Pentacles is what effort you've put towards something and what you've reaped from your effort. But now it's like, what's next? So maybe this is why someone could be operating. But the thing is, somebody's been operating on the shadow energy, but it's out of self-protectiveness. But the Five of Swords. Moving away from the heartbreak, sadness, learning from it, but also wanting to end conflict, wanting to win at all costs. But this could be how to move past any conflict. Usually when the swords are thoughts, are our ideas, also the way we communicate. So there could have been some sort of, if there's two people involved, if this isn't like an internal conflict, this could be wanting to move away from the conflict, you know, and think about how to move past the conflict with the Three of Wands and the Five of Swords, especially if the feminine energy who has been operating off her shadow self is having an understanding and she's been humbled in some way, you know, because she's had a realization, a sudden epiphany, a truth. Oh, sorry, wrong card. Truth. I meant to pull this card out. You know, so maybe she's wanting to move past the conflict and look towards the future. See what could come out of a situation after there has been some sort of conflict. But with the Four of Pentacles coming out with the Crisis card, I think somebody is definitely needing to take time to themselves, you know, because typically like the Four of Pentacles, it shows somebody who is like the miser. But if you look at the way she is, it's like somebody needs to reflect on their own value, you know, because sometimes when you're insecurity, when you have insecurities, they can impact your relationships with the opposite sex. You know, even the way you view the opposite sex. You know, if you think about like the type of guys that are out there, they project their insecurities onto other women and then try to find ways to disempower us, try to put us down. Women could do the same thing too, in the way we can emasculate men. So I don't know if there was a feminine energy that was trying to emasculate a masculine energy. That just popped up in my mind. But usually we project whatever our insecurities are, we project them onto other people. So this is about going within and like evaluating, looking back, looking at your own value, remembering your own value, because I did say the feminine energy may not be feeling good about herself, and that's why she's acting out in this dramatic way, operating off her shadow energy. And what she really needs to do is go within and reassess herself, reassess her choices, because I feel like this is the divine feminine energy. And the divine feminine energy could be a man who embodies more of feminine energies than masculine. Because remember, we embody both. And I don't want ignorant people laughing, you know, because I see some dude putting the smiley emoji. I don't know what you're laughing about, sir. Or ma'am. Mostly a sir, I'm thinking. Because most trolls are dudes, honestly. If you really think about it. See how I projected? Anyway, but this is someone that has to like reassess, reevaluate themselves. And you think about evaluate, value. It's value and reevaluate, you know? So somebody needs to like remember what they're worth, you know? And also being comfortable in their feminine energy so that they can put their guard down. Because the defense mechanism, sometimes maybe the feminine energy, regardless if they're a female or a male or they or them, you know, when they feel threatened, that's when this happens, the switch. especially if it's a threat to your ego. Because, you know, some of us could have overinflated egos, you know. If you watch Tyler's Tarot before, when he has people coming on his channel, he's like, why are you trying to be important? Why are you trying to be important? And I see these people sometimes in the chat. I'm like, okay, all right, now I know why Tyler says that. Okay, gotta be careful. But yeah, this is about going within. You see, in the typical Four of Pentacles is the guy that's holding, like he's like, I only got 4 pennies. I need to hold on to these pennies. But there's like this one is like the nurturing, the loving. It's a totally different energy in this depiction of the Four of Pentacles, you know. But I feel like it's also about being comfortable within yourself, comfortable with what you already have, you know, feeling safe where you are. The miser in the Rider White Tarot, he's like, I don't want to move. I don't want to lose. I earned all this. This is mine. I don't want to share. I'm greedy. I'm not going to tell you I'm greedy, but I'm going to show you I'm greedy. That type of thing. That's operating off like masculine energies in some ways, but selfish, but also divine feminine energy being selfish, you know, too, you know. So someone may be like needing to nurture themselves. Someone needs to nurture themselves. The moon came out because we have the Cancer card here too. This is definitely like shadow reading right here. This is for a divine feminine. This message is for a divine feminine who operates off her masculine energy when she feels threatened. When her ego is threatened, even her, even the way she feels about herself. And remember, the way we see ourselves, our self-esteem, if we need to be validated by other people, that's all ego. That's all shadow energy. You know, our ego is meant to protect us. But then if you don't feel safe or protected, guess what you're going to do? You're going to pull on your masculine energy and you're going to say, let's go to war. You know, so maybe somebody's going through some internal battle with themselves. That's where the crisis may be coming from. But if it's a separate energy where the emasculating of masculine energy or trying to, and the masculine energy, like, yeah, I'm not having none of that. I'm taking a vacation from you. I'm taking a vacation from your crazy ass because I need to protect myself from you, and I need to protect you from me because I want to just taro your ass, you know. But you know what's interesting about this moon card? Oh, look at that. Because I was going to talk about balance, and then the Justice card was right underneath. You know, you see these, usually you see like the dogs, and one is like the wild dog, the coyote, the wolf, and the other one is like a regular domesticated dog. So there's this side of us that's been domesticated. If you think about it, we have been domesticated by our families, by society, by religion, by school. We've been trained to be a certain way, right? But then there's that shadow aspect of ourselves that still lives within us that can never die, you know? It's that survival instinct that exists within all human beings. And it's like trying to find a balance between that, you know? The survival instinct, the defense mechanism, but then also knowing when you're not, there is no threat, you know, because you are safe, you know? But this is how you restore balance within yourself. This is about balancing your natural feminine energy as well as your natural masculine energy. Because like I said, we embody both. You know, our feminine is the part of us that receives. And on the masculine energy is the part that acts, that takes action, you know. And, you know, regardless, women have to take action. You know, there's women out there like who are doing things that are considered men stuff, you know, because it's very physical, you know, like sports, physical jobs, like construction. I wonder, like Teresa, I hope Teresa is here because she's a badass. I hope Teresa's doing well. There's a shout out to Teresa, tree hugging tea. I'm giving a shout out to her because I'm thinking about her right now. This is about being able to be in both energies, you know, that exists within us. And also loving yourself as you are, you know, and in both aspects. Even when you're not feeling your best, when you are in your feminine energy, it's remembering that you have to pour into yourself. When there's some sort of imbalance with your feminine energy, then that means you have to take time to yourself. You need to isolate. You need to take time to give yourself time to reflect, to evaluate, to reconnect to yourself, even with the high priestess energy too. You know, pour into yourself, nurture yourself, love yourself, allow yourself to feel safe. These cards, and then I got my nails done. Oh wow. I'm trying to get these cards. I don't want to bend my cards, but I have to. I gotta cover her tatas. You know, being in her Empress energy, feeling comfortable and safe in her Empress energy, but knowing that she could do that on her own, you know. But I feel like that's that for the reading. Humility. Secrets. Yeah. Yeah, like a needy. Somebody's needy. Somebody's been hiding that part about themselves too. This is the drama queen energy, you know, being humbled. So let me see what time it is. I've been harping on this for quite some time, so I feel like this reading is pretty much self-explanatory. I keep going back and forth. I think I'm repeating the message so that everybody can get it, like catch up in some way, because I know there are people coming in later than when I started, and obviously I've been on for over 40 minutes. So I'm gonna do a different reading this time. So I feel like this is a reading for a divine feminine, you know, that needs to find some sort of peace within herself and try to find a way to balance her feminine and masculine energies. But if it is a feminine, I mean, if it's involving two people, or masculine and a feminine, the feminine definitely needs to do some sort of healing so that she doesn't try to do things like project her insecurities onto a masculine energy as a defense mechanism because of how she's feeling about herself. All right, so I'm gonna go into the love situations deck. I like to shuffle my cards first. Actually, because I've been on for some time already, I think I might do the love situations cards later today if I go on live. Thank you so much for the likes. I hope everybody's having a great day. Oh, you're welcome, Yoko. I'm gonna call you that because I don't I don't want to put those letters and words together because it sounds like a curse. All right. Let me put that card back. Let me fix you, honey. I got to put the feminine in the upright. She can't be like that. We can't be like that. We should always be as much as we can be in the upright, you know. Unless it's like one of the cards that are not the greatest cards in tarot. I wonder, like, what cards are you afraid of from tarot? People are afraid of that. Aloha. Okay. Aloha. So you're in Hawaii. And what time is it in Hawaii? Because I'm in the East Coast, I'm in New York. And it's 2:49 right now in the East Coast. Maybe. I always read it. I read the names before I say them out loud because sometimes I feel like I'm being trolled. I hope I'm not being trolled. It's 8:49 a.m. So wow. Because I was trying to learn about the time zones. Because I know East Coast, there's Central, Pacific. No, I don't know. I remember. East Coast is Eastern, Central, Mountain, then Pacific, right? And then Hawaii, I think you have a different Hawaii Pacific time. Okay. Oh, the first card we have is Seek Calm. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that because I have to, my lunch break is about to end because I do my readings. In case anyone's new here, I do my 2 p.m. live streams during my lunch break. Okay. Oh, look at this. And what were we talking about? And look what card. I mean, I'm looking for the page for this card, but then look what I landed on. Find balance. I'm gonna read this. You need to be brutally honest with yourself about whether you like. Wait. Let me read that. Reread that. You need to be brutally. I can't read. It is beautiful, but for some reason, I want to read the card that comes before the Seek the Calm. You know, because earlier I was talking about us having to balance ourselves. So, but it's interesting that I landed close to 20, but I'm going to read this. You need to be brutally honest with yourself about whether your life has gone a little bit off kilter. Maybe it's one particular relationship that has a heaving imbalance, or maybe it's everything. The dark moon is the time to release and let go. And the energy of this card is all about shedding negativity that might otherwise stop you from feeling as though you have a balanced life, harmonious relationships, and lots to look forward to. Remember earlier we saw was talking about balance, masculine and feminine. What am I can't talk. So I'm gonna stop it, okay? Stop it. Okay, let me fucking talk. All right. Okay, the possible meanings is stop being codependent, pull your weight, avoid arguments, remind yourself you're as good as anyone else, and don't dim your lights for someone else. Remember, I think I mentioned codependency earlier about I mentioned something about codependency. I don't know if it was because of the reading I did yesterday or I'm remembering that for some reason. I don't know if I said that in this reading. And sometimes when I start talking, I forget. And I have to rewatch what I was like, oh my gosh, that was good. That's a good message. I'll be giving myself a pat on the back because I'm like, okay, that's... But stop being codependent, pull your weight, avoid arguments, the 5 of Swords. Remind yourself you're as good as anyone else. That's 7 of Pentacles with the 4 of Pentacles. Remember? And don't dim your light for someone else. All right, now I'm going to go into the Seek Calm. I'm going to finally read for this card. Okay? See, everything like... And right now the moon is in Scorpio. This is the time of shedding the things that no longer serve us, the things that are causing an imbalance in our life. Now, Seek Calm. This card represents the energy of the dark moon in Scorpio. And this is my first time using this deck, okay, on ever. Ahead of the new moon in Scorpio. While winds may be spiraling in the distance, clarity and calm lay ahead. If you've been obsessing over someone or something, this card is here to shake you up a little. It's just not healthy to allow yourself to spiral into overfeeling, negativity, or any sort of emotional state that doesn't serve you. Practices like meditation will help you work through this. If your mind is troubled now, don't indulge yourself too much. Of course, feel your feelings and process your thoughts. Remember, practice balance, spirituality, and practicality. But don't allow them to rule you. It's time for you to be more mindful, be more present. If you're being driven by your desires or fears right now, this card is a wake-up call to stop that. If you want to evolve, you need to get a greater understanding of your thought patterns and when they're not helpful. Maybe you're giving yourself or someone else too hard a time. Didn't I say there's a feminine energy that's probably giving the masculine energy a hard time? Possibly trying to emasculate him? As soon as you start to become more aware of your thoughts and your emotions, your biggest issue is going to start to dissolve. No one should pretend, drama queen, everything is okay when it's not. But don't act like things are worse than they are. Drama queen. Additional meanings for this card. Meditate every day. Well, remember, meditate and contemplate. Identify and work on any toxic traits, the contemplate. Let your feelings be your guide. Think before you speak and seek self-awareness. You know, this is how we restore balance within ourselves. You know, like I was mentioning, the feminine energy may be operating off her shadow self. And it could be because of the types of thoughts that she's having. You know, a negative mindset, negative thought patterns. It could be also the need to release that. You see the spiraling thoughts, because clouds represent thoughts. So this is a time to like really, if you're going to be thinking, do it productively. Like let your thoughts be productive, not destructive. Meditation is hard for me. Contemplation is very easy. Yeah, I'm an overthinker. I'm an overthinker. But this card is perfect for me. I'm a Scorpio. So this is perfect for me. And, you know, identify and work on any toxic traits. Scorpios are about regeneration, transformation, death, and rebirth. And earlier I was talking about the moon phases, how when the moon is full, everything is revealed, everything is illuminated. Anything in the shadow is being illuminated by the moon, right? It brings stuff up. It allows us to become aware, because if you're moon sensitive, the moon may impact your emotions. And that's why I say if you're feeling a certain way, it's good to look at where the moon is and to see how, if you're into astrology, I'm still learning about astrology, but it's about learning, you know, seeing if the moon has any impact on your emotions. Remember, our bodies are primarily made of water. You know, I think our body's like what, like over 70% water. And the moon pulls on the ocean. It's what creates the tides, you know, the tides rise or fall because of the moon, the gravitational pull of the moon. So how would the moon not affect us, but they could affect the ocean? And we're primarily made out of water. Like it kind of makes sense if you think about it, you know? So it's important to take, like, if you just, sometimes you got to look outside yourself and be like, okay, maybe there's something. That's the spiritual aspect of looking outside yourself, looking to see if there's something outside externally happening that may be impacting you internally, right? And this from the spiritual aspect. But then, of course, you have to contemplate. This is where you have to be logical and start to put things together, too. This is where there has to be that balance, you know, spirituality and practicality, meditation and contemplation. You know, because Neptune is the planet, I have to look this up, and I kind of don't care if I would just want to look this up. Neptune is the planet of dreams, imagination. Let me see. Neptune rules intuition, idealism, evolutions, illusion, dreams, and fantasy. Neptune is all about evolving, changing, and using spirituality to better ourselves. But sometimes we can use it too much where it can harm us. So this is a matter of being realistic. You can have your ideas, you can have these, you know, you can have like these beliefs. It's okay for us to believe in these things. I don't have any shame in believing in magic. I think we're all magical. The fact that we exist, that wherever the hell we came from, you know, I think we're all just magical, and because we exist in the things that we're capable of doing, you know. But we also have to be realistic too. You know, we have to keep ourselves safe, whether it's like actually in this 3D way of being safe, like physically safe, but then we also have to protect ourselves emotionally and physically and spiritually, you know. So we should be improving ourselves. We should be using spirituality to improve ourselves, but we shouldn't be using it as a crutch, you know. Like I do say, yeah, look at the moon phases just to see, but it's just to get like a different perspective and also to see if there is an impact, because sometimes you can look at it and be like, yeah, the moon is in a good place, like in a good place in my chart, but I feel like shit, that don't got nothing to do with me, you know. So maybe you're not as waterful as the rest of us. Waterfall, make that bad. But Neptune rules Pisces, you know, and Pisces is the 12th house, and it's the house of spirituality and intuition, psychic abilities, that type of thing. But it's definitely important for us to be in that watery energy, but also in that earthy energy. We have to be realistic. even if we have like these, we are idealistic, you know? That's where the balance needs to come in. And when we're thinking about the masculine and the feminine energy too, it's important for us to be aware of how we're showing up and how we're impacting other people, especially the people we care about. You know, if there's a feminine that was acting out in a way that, you know, may have been off-putting to a masculine energy, that there's some healing that this divine feminine needs to do, you know, so that she doesn't push away the people that love her, you know. And the feminine energy could be a masculine physical form, right, but has the feminine energy within him. So this reading is for anybody, you know. So I hope everybody's having a good day. I really appreciate you all for being here. It's 3 o'clock on the dot right now, so I have to go. I thank you so much for being here, for liking, for possibly subscribing. I'm sorry I didn't answer questions. I don't know when I'm going to answer questions again, but I look forward to seeing you. Oh yeah, Aquarius. Always thinking about new ways, idealistic in the sense of, no, not idealistic. You're radical in your thinking. Always looking for change, ways to make things better for us humans here. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. If I don't see you in the later live stream, I hope to see you maybe in the weekend. Maybe I'll do a weekend live stream. But whatever, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope to see you soon, and take care, and I'm sending you lots of love and light. Bye, Lion Sky. Bye, Brittany. Bye, Yoko. And thank you for joining, Yoko. Arushi, V, Jerry, Lord Game God, Albert, and Prabha. I don't know, like Catalin and Fintu. Thank you so much. Bye.